While access to funding and skills transfer needed for business resilience remains the biggest challenge for many young entrepreneurs, creativity, dedication, and support could help uplift the sector. My name is Jolly Mokorosi, and thank you for joining us on Wealth at Work, a show that focuses on wealth creation and education in South Africa. Our guest today defies a few stereotypes. She's not your typical entrepreneur, employer, media, or even IT professional. Join us today on Wealth at Work with our guest, Thembi Ngema-Buthelezi. She will speak to us on her beliefs around how her parents created an environment conducive to her becoming an entrepreneur. So Thembi, thank you for joining us today on the show. Welcome, welcome. We appreciate your presence here today. So right off from the start, tell us a bit about yourself and your businesses.
Okay, so my name is Thembi Ngema-Buthelezi. So I'm a wife and mother. So in terms of my businesses, I run a media and events management business. So we do your rentals for sound, lighting, video, photography. So it's kind of the technical stuff I enjoy. I also do software. So running a team, and I'm a team lead, and we deliver banking apps and online systems.
So when I first met you, Thembi, I was really fascinated by your business because I know you through my sister. You were at Rhodes at the time. You had started a business around the supply of airtime through the vending machines on campus. So I was fascinated by, first of all, the fact that there's this young lady running a business on campus. This little young lady, because you're pretty short. Running a business on campus, and quite a successful one with employees, with people. Tell me about how you came up with the idea, what you were hoping to achieve, how you stumbled upon this whole thing, and how you pitched it to your parents who eventually helped you with it.
Yeah, so I think it was a fascinating time when we were all getting phones and the supply of airtime, it was pretty scarce. So we used to go to Pick and Pay or one of those shops off campus to get airtime. And I kind of figured that it would be great to have something on campus. So even the capital story is quite interesting because I did pretty well in matric. So I got a bit of money from Rhodes. So I had my 19,000 Rand there. Then I went to the parents to be like, guys, I kind of need a bit more money to fund the machine. And my parents have been supportive from a very young age, like from me selling sweets at school to washing cars to renting out my bike, which was illegal at home, but they kind of let it slide. But yeah, so I think my parents kind of understood and saw the seed. Even though they didn't understand entrepreneurship, they've just been very supportive. So yeah, so they were very supportive in providing the capital. And the biggest thing about their support was not looking for anything in return, just as long as I succeeded. So I don't even remember if I paid back the money, but
That's incredible. What were kind of the specific things that they did to signal to you that we are just, other than, I mean, like you did say they turned the other way when you rented out your bike illegally, but what else did they do to kind of signal to you that this is a safe environment for you to pursue your dreams?
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing was allowing and giving me permission. So there've just so many stories of them turning the other way. We used to be the only kids with the TV game, Super Mario and all those things. So holidays, we turned our lounge into a game club. So instead of throwing us out, they just gave us their own TV. And just like said, guys, move into the garage. So it was yeah, the 90s. We made $100. It was a lot of money from 50 cents. So I think for me, the biggest thing was just their support. Even if they didn't understand, they wouldn't ask like your typical questions like, what's happening, what's the profits? Like, okay, you guys are doing this, okay, cool. We ask for what we need and then just supply it without questions or prohibitions of like, you're breaking this, so many kids in our yard. So just for me, it's just the signs of support and allowing us to be. Because we're more brought up to be consumers. So with our counterparts from different cultures and races, when they're young, they're taught to be innovators, they're playing games, they're being exposed to different things. So I think it goes to just the exposure of, guys, this is what's out there. So with the fourth industrial revolution, we must be getting into preschools, into primary schools.
You touched on selling sweets, because I also started out selling sweets with my mom's support as well. She helped me buy my first stock from Macro, and I did pay her back, by the way. My mom, like cash of note, she won't let you get away with it. But it was great. And having also touched out and started out my career thinking that I was going to go into IT, but changing my mind in my second year saying, hey, this is another thing. But I went deeper into business. But what fascinated me still was, as you said, the Silicon Valley. I absolutely love the concept of Silicon Valley. How do we create our own? You know, I've been to Kenya and I was blown away by what the young IT guys are doing in Kenya. I love following stories about some of the Nigerian guys and what they're doing, but what are we missing in South Africa?
Yeah, it's a good question, because I've been pondering on it, and it's sort of happening, especially like in Cape Town, long streets. So you get those things happening. But I like taking it back. I love my people, so I'm all about the advancements of Black people. So I think that there needs to be a lot of exposure there, because we're more brought up to be consumers. So with our counterparts from different cultures and races, when they're young, they're taught to be innovators, they're playing games, they're being exposed to different things. So I think it goes to just the exposure of, guys, this is what's out there. So with the fourth industrial revolution, we must be getting into preschools, into primary schools, teaching guys the technology. And there's the consumer part of it and there's the development part of it, and both of it is powerful. So it's just the exposure once people know what's out there. So I also really love what the president of Rwanda has done in terms of putting technology everywhere. Yes, I really love
and the satellite.
Yeah, President Paul, like preschool kids, they're playing with laptops, and even if they're not coding, I know they're coding, but it just that exposure of touching technology at a young age opens up your mind. And when you get to the corporate life, if you're there, it just helps you compete better with your other counterparts. So I think we must get in early and just have that exposure of that we are not just only consumers. We can also be the developers of these technologies.
So I'm going to throw you a little bit of a curveball. I touched on something and I was thinking, actually you wear so many hats. You are in the corporate sector, you've got your businesses that you're running, you're a mom, you're a wife, there are all these expectations of you. How are you juggling all of this and remaining focused? Because that's what I find that sometimes we struggle with, is remaining focused in those different contexts.
Yeah, so I think it's an important question. It's a good one. So I'll go back to my mom. What's one of the biggest lessons she taught me when I was going to varsity? Because as I told you, I did very well in the trip. She was just like, but kid, I was not the brightest student, but I was consistent. So guys like you would come into varsity. The first year they're doing computer science. The next year they're doing actuary because it's the latest thing. The next year they want to be astronauts and with NASA because the opportunities allow them. And there were we, the tortoises, we were just sticking it out with our education degree and getting it done. So I think from that, I just learned to be consistent in terms of what am I focusing on now and getting it done. So in terms of the juggling, it is pretty hard. So I love prioritizing my family and my daughter, but it's a matter of when I'm at work 8 to 5, I'm focused on my work. When I'm at school 5 to 9 or till midnight with assignments, I'm focused there. And when I'm with my kid, I'm intentional with my kid and husband. I'm intentional about it. So it is a bit of a struggle, but it's just a matter of what's my focus. And sometimes you just need to decide what's important. And a thing with COVID to bring it into perspective, right? I'm in the events business. So last year and even this year, we've been decimated. So in terms of focus, I just had to pick, am I focusing on completing my current degree, MBA, or am I focusing on pivoting my business? And sometimes the calls are not great. And I'm just like, maybe let me just finish the MBA. And then when I'm done, I can focus on pivoting. Let me just focus on staying afloat with the current business. So sometimes you have to make some tough calls.
Yeah, that's that, and you're so right. You are so right on that. It is about the focus and also prioritizing what's more important for right now. That makes a huge difference in understanding exactly what your priorities are and what you want to achieve. So Thembi, thanks for the interview. It's just been incredible to get to know you a bit better and your thinking around your businesses and how you're navigating things into the future. I'm really hoping that if anything, it helps pivot somebody else to the next phase in their business. So thanks for joining us once again.
No, it's a real pleasure. Enjoyed speaking to you, Johnny.
And all the best of luck with your businesses as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching Wealth at Work. We look forward to sharing more stories and profiling more dynamic entrepreneurs and business people. Please like and share and leave a comment telling us what topics you would like to see next. My name is Johnny Mogorosi. Thank you once again and goodbye.
One of the things that obviously is a huge hindrance within many South Africans' lives and across Africa is obviously that, you know, if there's more month than money in your budget, it's very difficult to be actually thinking about the future, thinking about saving, thinking about retirement. And so one of the things that I am also very passionate about is income generation, right? So there's two sides to the coin. The one is, are you being responsible with the money you are getting? But the other side of the coin is, are you maximizing the money you can get?